What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon Kindle Create Space. Link will be in the description box below as usual. This link is entitled. This one is entitled Ways to Improve Your Sex. I, Sometimes I'll be thinking I've done these certain videos, but I'm not too sure because I've done too many. So if I did an extra, whatever. Y'all probably ain't see the other one. So there's ways to improve on your sex game, right? Now, first thing, exercise, diet and exercise. You gotta watch what you eat, and you have to work out. First and foremost, you gotta watch what you eat because a healthy body, what you put in your body, is 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 partially, for the most part, responsible for how it operates. How you eat is gonna either make you healthier, make you stronger, make you function better. Not just physically, but sexually. Not just physically and mentally, but sexually also. You have to work out. You have to jog. You have to lift weights. I tell people all the time. Jogging helps your lower body. I'm gonna just say it like that. So to get your blood flowing properly. Ain't nothing wrong with jogging, running, and sprinting. Nothing wrong with that. So that's first. Second, you have to get your mind right, because a lot of times where guys mess up is their mind is too preoccupied on sex, 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 sex. So a lot of times it's not just about pleasing a woman, but it's about actually you can't gain experience because you're in a rush. If you thinking sex, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it, it's so much so on your mind that by the time you get it, it's too much to handle because you didn't built up the anticipation, and that's your problem. You have to reverse the anticipation. That's why people tell you to do small things like when you get with a female, flirt with her during the day, send her text messages, and that's a way of foreplay. Warm her up during the day. Let her know that she gonna get it later on at night because it it reverses the anticipation because now she's going through a daily build up. So it's easier for her to release when she's with you because from 8 in the morning to maybe 6 o'clock at night, 6 that night, or whatever time she comes by or you go see her, she knows what's happening, and she's getting anticipating, she's hyping it up, hyping herself up, and then so in some ways you don't have to last as long. Not saying you shouldn't, but I'm just saying it reverses the situation for you. Now, and that's about your romance game. And I know it's difficult with girls you just meet, but because you have to get to a point where you're having sex, and some girls give up sex so easily, whatever, like they hot, whatever. But when you actually improve your sex game, you're gonna realize that you don't want to go from one to the next to the next to the next, because as you get better, you're gonna realize that most women aren't satisfied sexually, and they're gonna wanna they're gonna feel like if you giving it to them and giving it to them well, they own you, they like you theirs or whatever. So it's gonna make you careful about who you having sex with, for one, because you don't want nobody, no nutcase. And I might do a video about that later, who to smash and who not to smash. um so yeah, I probably will do one tomorrow on that. um Moving forward, the other thing about that is you have to start to learn the female body. See, a lot of y'all just uh, it's a difference between wanting to do a bunch of different positions and her realizing you know what you're doing, and her openly wanting to receive it from different positions from you. That's two different things. You know, when you're on top, you have to learn. In every position, you got to learn what makes her, what, what turns her on, because every woman is different. Every woman's spot is technically in a different area, you know. But say you in missionary, you have to learn, for one, how to take your time, because the reason I say learn how to take your time in sex is, I know some girls got that, right? So it's hard to take your time with them. I get it. But the ones that you can take your time with, you don't have to bam 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 bam. Just you know, just take your time, because you're gonna start to realize, you're gonna start to feel which type of stroke is the one that she really enjoys. So then you could repeat that. Then you could, once you repeat it, okay, this is the one that gets her. Then that puts you in a position of control and concentration, where you know it takes you out of just bang bang bang, and you lose your cool, and you blow up and it's all over. To, okay, now you can control your your orgasm, because now you don't have to, it's going to come eventually, but now you're not rushing it, because like, okay, I'm gonna get her right here and do this and do that. And sometimes, like with some girls, you might have to, if you go into, how can I say this, because I'm trying to be, if you go into the bottom, right, as you're taking your time, she's gonna open up for you. She's gonna open up her legs for you or whatever. She's gonna let you go a little bit further. And some women, when their legs come up, they want you to push their legs back. Now there's a part where, when her legs are back, you can actually lift up her lower back. Sometimes you just put a pillow there, and it might be easier for you. And there's also a part where, instead of aiming downward, you're stroking towards, not the bottom of her, but her navel, and you might wind up hitting her spot. That way you'll realize it, because if you're taking your time and you taking it one stroke at a time, at a constant motion, you getting your rhythm going, you're gonna feel the changes in her box, right? You're gonna start feeling it get a little bit more, it get a little wetter, it gets a little you start to be able to feel her orgasm, because a lot of you guys are so in a rush that you don't even know if the girl orgasm or not. You can't, you never feel the contractions of her body, because you're just in such a rush. You have to improve on that, because if you don't, you won't know. You're hoping that but when you do that, it changes the whole dynamic. Sometimes also you got to change the way you touch her. Sometimes, fellas, y'all got, you don't realize, some women like to be touched gently, some women like to be handled rough. You gotta learn that woman, you know, and you have to start to get in tune with the moment. Sometimes some ladies, um, have to be turned on to a certain space to take it a little further, you know. And the ways to improve that, you have to start learning the woman you're dealing with and learning, you know, what she's into. And sometimes you can just bring it out of them because she'll be more open to try new things, newer positions, you know, to get a little bit more into it if you take the steps to get better at the basics. You know, if you get your body right and then your mind right, if you get your patience to get her off right, if you get your romance down right, to turn her on and learn how to touch her and feel her and the things that might make her shiver. Like sometimes some girls, if you mess with like gently stroke their inner thigh or outer thigh or maybe their butt or you know maybe their stomach, it makes them, it doesn't make them tickle, it makes them shiver. You use those type of things as a way to improve. You know, some women have a spot that if you kiss or if you know you touch with your tongue or you suck on them, it drives them crazy. Use that while you're having sex with them. You know, like sometimes it's okay to put them. You have to learn a woman to put her in a position in some ways to have a sensory overload. That's what's gonna wind up happening if you having sex and you stroking it right or whatever. There's gonna be times where she tries to stop you, you know, because she can't handle it. Same thing with the sensory overload when you might be stroking her and kissing her spot or rubbing her body in a certain way. She's gonna lock up. You know, she's gonna freeze. You know, some women start uncontrollably shaking and seizing. Some women start, you know, getting extra loud. Some women start crying. It just depends on the woman and how you um, and what makes her do what. That's why I said you got to learn the body. That's why you take your time. You learn the strokes. You start to feel her walls out in a sense and see where her spot and hear what and hear her sound off when you hit certain ways or move in a certain type of way because you learn all these things and over time you get better and better and better. Yeah.